How's it going, my fellow audience? It's your friendly neighborhood Ronan Daglish, back at it again with another edition of Ronan's Tomatoes. In today's edition, I will review Spider-Man Brand New Day. To start with, I love the previous Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. Homecoming was a fresh start, Far From Home was an adventurous take on Spider-Man, and No Way Home was a compelling movie that never felt like fan service. They just told the story they wanted to tell, add some cool action scenes, and then swung out of there. As for this movie, it's fun, but also flawed in some areas. It's hard for me to do this review without spoilers, but I'm gonna try as best as I can to explain myself without giving anything away. Let's start off with the story. Obviously, we know it's the aftermath of No Way Home. Everyone, including MJ and Ned, forget that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, and there's no way to reverse time now that Doctor Strange is gone. But what I really like about the story is that it's unlike any other Spider-Man movie. And what I mean is that Spider-Man is not just some goofy comic relief man who swings around thwip-thwip in his little mask and fights bad guys. No, Spider-Man can easily be compared to last year's Superman, where his strengths and weaknesses play out throughout the movie, thus making him feel more human rather than being some overpowered superhero. Marvel made the right call to do this, and I gotta applaud them for that. And once again, Michael Giacchino still makes powerful swings with the score. I admire his work on the previous 3 Spider-Man movies in the Tom Holland trilogy, and this one is no exception. Instead of soaring whimsical tunes, this time around he goes for an existential crisis theme, which works incredibly well for this movie, and it truly sells the point that Peter is in a dark period of his life, and we as the audience can connect with him. I don't think it comes as a surprise to anyone that the action in this movie is insane. The fight choreography especially reminded me a lot of the Spider-Man video games. The camera work that was done on the fight scenes brought the viewers into the moment. In my opinion, the detention facility fight scene was the best shot and choreographed moment in the entire movie. I admire the way the camera spins and even turns upside down during the fight. It's almost as if we, the audience ourselves, have inhabited the powers of Spider-Man. I also admired the scene where he fights the Hulk. The movement in this scene is electrifying. It's great to see Bruce in his mutated form again. This fight scene definitely had a lot more impact on me than the one in Brave New World. Before I move on to the negatives, I want to point out one of my favorite characters in the movie that is not Spider-Man. It is, in fact, Punisher. It is clear that he really wants to push that PG-13 boundary, but he's not there for comic relief. He's there to support Spider-Man on his journey, even though sometimes it looks like he doesn't give a shit about him. As for the other characters, I mentioned that Peter Parker gets improved in terms of his character development. MJ is still the same as she was in the previous films, and the same goes for Ned, except Ned might be a little less funny this time around. Still, Zendaya and Jacob Batalon do a good job of holding their own. And yes, the CGI can still use some work on. Modern Marvel is not the best at CGI, even in their best films, so they're gonna have to work out those kinks before Doomsday. Lord knows if they have, but a man could dream. The only CGI that does work in this movie is the organic webs. It actually feels like Spider-Man's actual webs in the real world, rather than fake spider webs you can find at Spirit Halloween. The moment when Peter falls out of his apartment after his brutal feint does look a little rough around the edges, and it's abundantly clear that they used a green screen and wires, which makes the fall unrealistic. And my final gripe with the movie is that it didn't need to be 2 hours long. Yes, I was having fun with it, but I also kinda wanted for it to wrap up after the 1 hour 59-minute mark. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed what the new villain had to offer, and I was intrigued in their backstory, but also I was kinda bored at some points that sometimes I thought to myself, enough is enough. Just like I said before, Spider-Man Brand New Day is fun, but also flawed in some areas, whether it would be the characters, the rough CGI, and maybe some of the humor, but I still think it's worth going to the theater to check out. I don't know if it's $2 billion worth, but hey, I'm glad to see this movie doing well. And I'm gonna do something different before I give the score on this movie. I am going to score every single Tom Holland Spider-Man movie on the Ronan's Tomatoes meter. Spider-Man Homecoming gets 7 Ronan's Tomatoes, Spider-Man Far From Home gets 8 Ronan's Tomatoes, Spider-Man No Way Home gets 10 Ronan's Tomatoes, and Spider-Man Brand New Day gets 7 Ronan's Tomatoes, the same amount as Spider-Man Homecoming. I think I can safely say that Tom Holland's trilogy has never missed, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but I would actually be down for a Spider-Man 5. I'm thinking maybe a Spidey Pool movie. That would be a fun idea and a perfect way to evolve Spider-Man even more. And Marvel, if you're listening, I would love to see a Punisher movie sometime in the future. Please make it happen. Thank you for swinging on into this new edition of Ronan's Tomatoes. I'm Ronan Daglish, and that's a wrap.